Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again for another book review. This is going to be our extra book of the month, and it is brought to you by Reading with Cora, and the name of the book is called The Great Alone by Kristin. And so let's go ahead and get into it. This is the cover of the book. You wonder where that road is going to, huh? So this book involves the Albright family, and they are at the center of this story, which includes love, abuse, tragedy, and triumph. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the family members. First, there is Ernst, and I thought that was a interesting name, Ernst. And he is the father and husband. Ernst is a veteran that came back with horrid memories and a changed disposition. Ernst has a temper, is violent, and what some would call paranoid thinking. Then there is Lena. Lena is the daughter, and she doesn't remember how Ernst was before he went off to war. All she knows is the man she loves yet fears. Then there is Cora, and she is the mother and wife. Cora doesn't have much of an education. She had employment at a restaurant as a waitress to make ends meet and care for her family. Cora would follow Ernst to the ends of the earth. And so this family had some ups and downs, didn't have the best of relationships among the three because of Ernst's abusive behavior. And one day, Ernst received a letter that would change all of their lives. A fellow soldier, Earl, had left Ernst land in Alaska. Ernst believed this was just the move his family needed. To be out in the country, away from criminals and other worldly expectations and influences. They could carve out a life on their own terms, live on the land, and be a happy family. Cora thought this move would help improve Ernst's disposition. Lena was skeptical that the move would change Ernst's mood swings, but what could she do? She was just a minor. She loved her parents and couldn't be without her mama. The family packed up and left Seattle and moved to Alaska. They met up with Earl's family and the other locals. The family inherited a nice piece of land with a shabby cabin. There were no modern conveniences even for the 1970s. Locals like Thelma, Marge, the Walkers, Mad Earl and his clan, and the rest of the community welcomed the Albrights. Community members helped them get the place fixed up and taught them about Alaskan living. Ernst wasn't so keen on the help at first, but relented. Lena was surprised they had a school and began attending. Cora and Lena, not used to this kind of living, had to adapt quickly. It is truly survival of the knowledgeable, careful, and fittest in Alaska. Ernst was a soldier, so he was already ahead of the curve compared to Cora and Lena. With all the friendliness of the community members, Ernst found a way to have tension and division among them. Ernst and Mad Earl were two peas in a pod, with their conspiracy theories of outsiders coming to take over the land and make it, well, modern. They fought their liberties to live freely would be taken away. Ern also didn't like the local Tom Walker, who owned land and the tavern in town. Tom had money and was too forward-thinking for Ernst's taste. I think Ernst didn't like Tom because he was at a level of wealth and influence, which reminded him of Cora's parents that didn't want them to be together. Ernst was then again just plain old jealous and possessive. Well, Ernst's abuse subsided for a short time, then reared its ugly head again. Lena grew up and was smitten with the forbidden boy that sparked the idea that she could have more, go to college even. Cora was trying to cling to her memories of how Ernst used to be and the glimpses of good times here and there to keep her going. This story tells the life of this family and what they endured in Alaska, how war changed Ernst and the effects it had on the family and those around them, how a community can be torn apart and pieced back together. This story shows how abuse is statistically not a one-time incident situation. How abuse is like a book. There is a beginning, middle, and an end. Also a story of hope and love. You will have to read the book to find out how this story evolves for this family. I will say, this book had triggers flying all over and through it, for me personally. There is death described in detail and abuse, physical, mental, and emotional. The relationship between Cora and Ernst is very toxic, to say the least. Cora and Ernst have a warped codependency. Ernst has a vice grip on his family, and they fear him and what he will do to them and others. It's apparent Ernst didn't have professional help from the VA after being discharged from active duty. It did not indicate that he received any type of therapy, counseling, medication. I mean, the book did not describe Ernst receiving any type of professional or medical assistance after he was discharged from his military duties. And just a sidebar, oftentimes, especially in this time period, veterans were not, I don't know what the word is for it, but I mean, they're just not like deprogrammed, I mean, they've seen horrific things, they've done horrific things, and to think that once their term of service is done, that all goes away is just absolutely ridiculous. And this book did not indicate the family receiving any services that would help, alleviate or combat some of those issues that one would have after going to war and being in the military. I related to this story on many levels. I absolutely know how Cora and Lena felt during this story, and it was hard to listen to. I did listen to the audiobook. I do have the physical copy, but I listened to the audiobook, and it was challenging at times to hear what was going on. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been in Cora's position, and I've been in Lenny's position. Lenny's describing how, careful you have to be and tiptoe around the home and make yourself as invisible as possible so that you don't set off the abuser. Escaping your environment through reading books, as Lena did in this story. Cora being physically abused by someone that claimed they love you. And so while listening to the narrator convey these things, it came across so raw, and I don't know if that was because of personal experience mixed in with listening to the story being told, but it was a very raw feeling for me. Lena also questioned, why Cora won't just leave Ernst. Cora hiding the abuse, making excuses. Cora and Lena trying to do everything right in an attempt to prevent the abuse from happening. The stifling feeling of being in an unsafe environment, never knowing what will set off the abuser. The narrator did an impeccable job of conveying Cora and Lena's experience with Ernst. However, with all the difficulties of this family, a child brings about a new beginning. It's amazing how a child can prompt a mother to do things she didn't think she was capable of. Protecting an innocent life and wanting to provide the best life possible for a child can be hard and wonderful all at the same time. This was a very well crafted story that will have you, infuriated, saddened, appalled, disturbed, excited, hopeful, and befuddled at times. So it runs a gamut of emotions. So read the book to find out what happens to Cora and Ernst. And will Lena get the future she desires for herself? I don't know. You have to read the book. Well, I do know. You don't know. So you have to read the book to find out. As I said, I did listen to the audiobook version. And again, the narrator was superb at relaying this family's journey. The author does keep you invested from start to finish. There are many highs and intensity moments. If you don't feel some emotion while reading this, well, I'd say check your internal emotions meter, because you should. The author did an excellent job conveying what the characters were feeling and thinking. I would have liked to get more insight into Ernst's head. I feel kind of maybe that might have been a missing piece. Like, if we could have gotten to his head and maybe seen a perspective in more detail. Because, there was some, but more detail about, his perspective, how he saw things, why he did things. We get an answer to that, but I guess it didn't have the same feel as, the insight from Lena and Cora's perspective. But again, I would venture to say it was a pretty scary place inside Ernst's head, so I'm not real sure. The book doesn't have any discussion questions, which I wish it did, but it doesn't. There are a gamut of topics you can discuss from reading this book. Obviously, the hot topic would be forms and levels of abuse. How far can the abuse go before it is unforgivable and you would leave the person? The fears of the victims regarding leaving an abusive relationship. The topic of Alaskan life and its hardships and positives. Sidebar, I think there are some shows out now about Alaskan living, and it's been quite a while, but I watched a few episodes. I can't remember the name of the show, but I thought, wow, that has to be some really hard living. I mean, it might be a little bit peaceful, but all the things that you have to do in order to survive out in the Alaskan wilderness, I guess, what is it called? Living off the grid, where like literally modern conveniences are next to non-existent. And you're foraging for your own food, and yeah, I would think just the aspect of how cold it can get would, probably X a lot of people off of that experience. But I mean, Alaskan life seems like it's pretty much do or die in some parts. But another topic could be, what lengths would you go to protect and give your child a decent life? And as an outsider, family, friend, community member, what lengths would you go to in assisting a victim of abuse? So, reading with Tara, thank you for a emotion-evoking story. It was a page turner. It was a very gripping. It definitely holds your attention. You definitely want to know how this is going to pan out. It has you at the edge of your seats in some parts. Yeah, so it was all around a wonderful read. So thank you, Reading with Tara, for your suggestion. I greatly appreciate it. And I did give this book a 10 out of 10. I think you should pick it up. I think it is a great book. The audiobook, I would say it was moderate to fast paced. I think if I read the physical copy, there were some parts that I more than likely probably would have sped up the reading pace, but it is not a weekend read. Unless you do absolutely nothing and you have a 3-day weekend, then you might, I don't know. But it was not a weekend read for me, and so that is that on that. So now it's time to, oh, by the way, this was September's extra book. And so, yes, September's extra book is this one, The Great Alone by Kristin Hannah. And it was suggested by Reading with Tara. And it was wonderful. So go check it out, okay? So now it is time to get October's extra read of the month. And if you did not know, you can always make suggestions for books for me to read and give a review on. If you do make a suggestion, it goes into this handy dandy vase. And once a month I draw from this handy dandy vase, and we find out the book selection, and you will get a shout out just as Reading with Tara has during this video. So you get credit for making your suggestion. So let's see what will be October's read. Let's see, who will it be? Let's see. Okay. Oops, somebody fell out, but it's not in my hand. So who is this? Okay. This is Alicia Nguyen. The Escape Room by Megan Golden. The Escape Room by Megan Golden, and this was suggested by Alicia Nguyen. Now, I don't know if this is a scary one or not, but since it's October, it's okay. I think I could do it. The Escape Room. It sounds like it's going to be a thriller of some type. I don't know. But that's what it sounds like. Well, as always, I thank you for watching the videos. I thank you for participating with giving your books suggestions. I also thank you for subscribing, clicking like, share, telling people to come on over and take a look. If you have read a book that I have done a review on, I would definitely like your comments to see what you thought of the book. I'm always open to different perspectives, so maybe you got something out of it that I didn't, and I'd like to kind of hear that from you, the viewers. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate everyone watching the videos, and hopefully there will be more videos to come that you can enjoy and either put on your to be read list, or you can tell me what you thought about it because you've already read it. I will definitely be trying to mix it up a little bit in the months to come. I'm always open to new genres and different kinds of books. I can tell you now, if it reads like a textbook, it will take me forever to read it. Just FYI. Not that I won't, it's just going to take me quite a while to read it if it reads like a textbook. But if you would take a moment to hit the subscribe button if you have not already, I would greatly appreciate that. And that would also allow you to be alerted whenever a new video is posted. Also click that share button. Let other people know about all this goodness over here so that they can take part in it, and tell all your literary loving friends to come on over and take a gander. And until next time, keep turning the pages, my book lovers!